So, how many of you feel like you just can't get your shit together? If you feel this way, please give me a thumbs up. I remember, like it was yesterday, saying to myself, like, geez, it's 6 months now. Why can't I get my shit together? It's 12 months now. Why can't I get my shit together? It's 18 months now. Why can't I get my shit together? And all of this has to do with motherhood. So it could be literally anything. But for me, it was, why can't I heal from anxiety and depression? Why can't I heal my OCD tendency? Why can't I get my house in order? Why can't I get my anger under control? Why can't I get dressed and get in the fucking shower? Like, why can't I do these things? Like, it just felt like I couldn't get my shit together. So if that's how you feel as a mom right now, please, again, give me a thumbs up that you feel like you just can't get it together. And that could, like I said, mean anything. It could just that you can't get in the shower, you can't calm down, you can't stop crying, you can't get to see a therapist, you're not seeing a coach, you can't seem to communicate your needs, you don't have enough self-care time. All of this stuff is combined under I can't get my shit together. And I would just cry uncontrollably and just say, what is wrong with me that I just can't do this? Like, why am I not moving forward? Why do I feel stuck? Why do I feel trapped? Why do I still feel like I'm drowning? And so we took a poll the other day, and a lot of you had said that, your anxiety is that you're so overwhelmed with so much to do, or your intrusive thoughts, and it's constant, right? And so it feels like you can't get your shit together. And so I want to tell you is that chances are you have been getting your shit together. You just haven't realized that you have been getting your shit together. And what that means is that if you have even taken one step and noticed that you have anxiety or depression postpartum, or if you have reached out to a therapist or reached out to me or talked to a trusted friend, like all of this, hey Kay, all of this is getting your shit together. Although it still feels like everything's up in the air, at least you're taking steps. And so that's my first tip right now is if you still don't feel like you have your shit together, it's all about taking those steps. It's all about taking the time to figure out what that means to you. What does that mean? Why do you feel like you can't get your shit together as a mom? Like, is it the guilt? Is it anxiety? Is it that you just don't feel good enough? What's going on that you don't feel like you have your shit together? So take some time to write this down today. What is it that you can't get together? Why are you feeling this way about yourself? Why are you beating yourself up that you can't get it together? So take some time and write it down. And then I want you to start figuring out, and I always say this, 3 action steps that you can do that would help you feel like you can get your shit together. So if you're struggling from anxiety or depression, again, it's all about getting help. So reach out to me. This is what I do for a living. I help moms who suffer with postpartum depression and anxiety. So reach out to me, reach out to a therapist, talk to your doctor. That could be one action step. If you feel like, you can't get your house in order or something like that, organize one part of the house today, organize just the table. If you feel like you are struggling with your anger or something like that, try one step to help you deal with your anger. So something we talked about in one of the other videos, dealing with the anger. So it's all about just taking one step at a time, right? There's so many stressors going on at motherhood at the same time. And that's what causes the overwhelm and the burnout and the anxiety is there's just too much to handle. So we need to break it down into smaller pieces because when we look at the bigger picture, it's extremely overwhelming. There's too much to do. There's too much steps to take, too many things. So today, just find 3 things that you can do that will make you feel like you are making some sort of progress. And then out of those 3 action steps, I want you to take one today. So one meaning call the therapist, DM me, call your friends, organize the house or whatever you have to do. Just take one of those 3 action steps. What this allows you to do is again, break up those bigger goals into smaller ones so it's not so overwhelming. And also, sometimes we put so much on our plate. So again, if we're trying to meditate, we're trying to go to therapy, we're trying to see the coach, we're trying to clean the house, we're trying to control our anger, we're trying to get rid of mom guilt, we're trying to do all these things. It's so overwhelming. It's so many different things happening at one time. So you want to focus on only one area at a time, because as you focus on that one area, you'll be like, okay, whew, I feel like I got that under control. Okay. So like if it's your intrusive thoughts and you start working on them, you're doing some tapping, you're doing some subliminal messages, you're doing the healing sessions, the NLP, and you got that under control. Now you feel like you got your shit together in that one area, and controlling that one area makes you feel like a weight has lifted. And then you move to the next one. So if your spouse isn't helping out, or you don't have enough physical support, or mental support, that's your next thing that you're going to tackle. So you tackle that next thing. So once you get that under control and you get the right amount of support, you figure out what type of support that you need, then you feel like, okay, whew, I feel like I'm getting my shit together. Then you tackle the next one, and I feel like I'm getting my shit together, and so on and so forth. When you try to tackle too much at once, it's too overwhelming, and then you just spin in circles, and then you sit down and you don't do jack shit. So today is all about finding a way. If you are dealing with getting your shit together, I completely understand. Try your best not to beat yourself up over the fact that it's still not together yet, right? You still don't feel like yourself. You still have intrusive thoughts. You still have anxiety. You still have depression. You still have OCD. Whatever you're dealing with, try not to beat yourself up so much. I want you to give yourself a little bit of grace, okay? It takes a lot of time if you're going at it by yourself to get all of this together. And if you're still struggling, it's probably because you're just going around in circles, and you're not doing anything. So do one thing out at a time so that you feel a little bit better. It takes that stress off a little bit so that you can feel more in control of your emotions, more in control of your life. And again, if you don't have it all together, that's okay. I promise you, you will have it all together at one point. You will. And you'll be like, yeah, Danielle was right. I have it all together. But that takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes some work, and it takes getting support. So you cannot do this by yourself. And I will reiterate this 100 and thousands, millions more times. You cannot go through this all alone. You need some sort of mentor, some sort of support, someone to guide you on your way, right? Because if you're stuck spinning in circles like this, you need someone to be like, hey, slow down, stop. Too many things are going on. Let's just tackle that one thing. Okay, so that's probably why you're still stuck in the same spot, and why you feel like you can't get your shit together. Why you feel like, oh my God, this is still happening. It's been months. It hasn't got away. What the heck is going on? So try these tips today and do those, find 3 action steps, and then just take one of them today, and it will take that load off. And little by little, each day you will start feeling more and more like you got your shit together, more and more like yourself, more and more like this new version of yourself. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And like me on Instagram, The Unfamiliar Mom. Follow me on YouTube, Danielle Cotis. And like my Facebook page, The Unfamiliar Mom. And until next time.